This conference will now be recorded.
Is the tech type yet? Oh, it is. We're going to give it a good one.
I swear, this computer is like, sometimes I.
Is it on?
Yeah.
I'm going to call the meeting of June 17th, 2024 of City Council regular meeting to order. Anna, can you call the roll?
Mayor Johnson? Councilmember King?
Present here.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Noah?
Here.
Councilmember Walchuk is excused.
Please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
Mayor Johnson?
Aye.
Councilmember King?
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell?
Aye.
And Mayor Pro Tem Noah?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Are there any modifications to the agenda this evening? Okay. Approval of the minutes, regular session June 3rd, 2024, and special session June 6th, 2024. Any questions, issues? Nope, so they stand as printed. We're down to public comment. Citizens appearing before council on agenda and non-agenda items shall be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during a council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please come to the podium, state your name and address. Online comments will be accepted after in-person comments are completed. All comments should be directed to the council and not to the audience. Anybody? Oh.
Hi, Mike Babcock here. I wanted to talk about the bike path. So my daughter and I are very avid bikers. And so the section between Island View and SciTech Park, I don't know if there's anything like, because that's considered part of the bike path, but it's right on the side of the road. And it's like, for me to do the loop with my daughter, I tow her, or she's on her like little bike. It's not safe. And I was wondering, if there was some sort of a thing in the future to make that safer, or like they were going to section off maybe like a separate bike path off of the road, so it's separate from the road. I know it's obviously money and everything, but that's a big concern for myself.
Okay.
And so, and then also from SciTech Park to the cemetery, the roots have overgrown, and it's that section is out of the whole thing. That's literally really the only section that really needs to be done. And I was just I wanted to raise concern on that.
Okay. We'll pass this on to our city manager and get some answers. And if you would like to call her, she could assist.
Cool.
She's out sick. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, no worries.
I would give her a day.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for the update on.
I guess I'm just curious. So you're talking about from SciTech Park to Island View subdivision. Are you talking about alongside
Alongside of the road,
the
yeah.
road on Bagley?
Yep.
Okay. So there is not a bike path there?
No, there is, but there's no protectionary measures for like me, myself. I can ride on that road, no problem. I feel comfortable riding on it, but like as if I'm taking my daughter and she's 3.5 years old, she's on a little bike. And if I want to do the loop, I can't go that route. I can go as far as, and then double back, but I don't want to go on that like half a mile section because it's like, it's literally a highway.
Yeah.
People drive 55 and it's.
Do you have any suggestions? Like, did you have any ideas? What protective measures? Looks like we have an audience input.
I'm hoping I'm here for my own comment, but I would like to have a comment on this. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that in this conversation.
I would say that, I guess for me, the most sense it would be just to build a secondary bike path off of the highway, maybe with a median in between the two, or extending the road guards further down would be another thing.
And
And-
I'm not sure we have control over it.
Yeah, I know. It's probably obviously DOT that deals with that, but
Just so you're aware, yeah, it is, the Bagley Street is road commission.
yeah.
And we're kind of working with them. We started working with them already on, they're at least open to the idea of letting us put a bike path within that right of way.
Okay.
The thing is it's pushed, it'll have to be pushed as far back away from the road as we can, which then puts us into a wetland situation. So there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of.
Yeah, I understand that for sure.
And so we're kind of in the beginning discussions with the road commission, and, you know, it's the old adage of you have to do one thing to do one thing, you gotta do 10 other things.
Yeah, I understand that.
And we've got money we can get a hold of actually, but it has to be under our control to do that. So we have to get an easement ahead of even putting a project together. So there's a lot of moving.
Well, it's nice to hear that
Yeah.
at least you're thinking about it and making steps forward.
Yeah, and that what exists there now is just the shoulder of the road, basically. It's the paved shoulder. And we got with the road committee a while back and said, hey, can we at least identify this as a portion of a connector of the bike path? And, you know, they said, yeah, just go ahead and identify it. But yeah.
One of the big reasons I bring it up is because a lot of people are buying e-bikes now. So you're seeing a ton more people riding bikes. And so they're going to be on the bike paths more and more. And so some of the sections are, you know, things are just going to have to be taken care of. And
Yep.
I guess, anyway, you guys are on top of it, so.
We're on top of it, but we're, yeah.
Well, you're getting there.
It's not on our radar for a while, for sure.
Hey, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your comments.
Judge Curtis, you can speak to the,
And I'm going to kind of dovetail. So Alan Curtis, 1229 West Washington Avenue. The bike path kind of actually, that stretch of the road led me here today, which I'm hoping, since they're starting construction for a month on that aspect of Bagley, that the bike path had been discussed or thought about, because they're tearing up the road for a month. We're going to add a bike path in. Why wouldn't we be doing it right now? So I really hope that this was more than just thoughts that the city may have, because I couldn't agree more, is that we have this beautiful bike path. And when you come out of Sistek Park and you cross over a new nice bridge on Bagley, you are the shoulder of a road that's a 55-mile-an-hour road. I have a 9-year-old kid. I don't even like riding that myself. And we should have the bike path to be able to, even if you can do the quick then ingress into Island View subdivision at the very first spot. It's a very short piece. Just get the people into Island View so you can finish the rest down to the corner on Long Rapids, pick up the rest of it and ride throughout. But I know if for a person coming to visit, I would be quite intimidated, because then from there you kind of get lost and it's not clearly marked. So I couldn't agree more. I just hope that the road commission, this was something that was being considered, since they're doing the work today. That work led me to, as I live on Old Washington, the reroute takes it all by my house. And back to it, started today, and I heard my first Jake brake. I wanted to bring this up the last time. And I know the people that live on State Street hate Jake brakes also. Businesses on Chisholm hate Jake brakes. I understand that I came in talking with Chief Hamp that this has been something that's brought up in the past, and that there can be issues of, well, it's a safety mechanism, so you can't prohibit it. Jake brakes don't need to be used when you're driving 40 miles an hour coming in off of M32 to slow down to Ripley. They certainly don't need to be used when you're doing 25 miles an hour on State Street coming through town, or when you're using Chisholm. I mean, you're using, because everybody, I'm just hoping, knows what the Jake brake sound is. It's like a jackhammer, and it's just that, and it reverberates everywhere. It's clearly noise pollution. I understand that there are safety features that engines of semis need to use in certain situations where you can have problems with your brakes failing, whatnot, and needing to use essentially the engine to slow down. But there should be some form of a happy medium, like I said, but I just know it's going to be back to that. It's another one of these things where I'm all for commerce. I understand what semi trucks provide and what they do, and full support. But I don't think it's a safety issue where these drivers, or if they are utilizing in a safety manner, then they were driving in a reckless manner to start with in order to put themselves into that position. And so not sure if there's any room between. The last, I saw a Jake brake sign outside of, out at, not Rockport, excuse me, outside Pastor Bell, right there on those curves, and it says no Jake brakes. And I'm assuming that is for the trucks coming out of Stoneport, and with that being a dark preserve or something, but there's a no Jake brake sign out there. So at least they are prohibiting Jake brakes in Presque Isle County. Just a simple sign, says no or Jake brakes, and I think it's the red with the circle through it. And so I just put it out there that I don't know why we need that noise within the city limits. I mean,
And I'll just tell you what Mayor Pagora had done. It was one of the last things he did before he left. And he had wrote a letter to all of the trucking companies and asked them not to use them. We know we can't ban them. There's no law that, there's nothing on the books that allows us to say you cannot use them, even in this city. So he just asked kindly that the companies ask their drivers not to use them when they're in the city. And that's about as much as we can do, but residents can certainly, if you know the trucking company, you can certainly call them.
that's obviously then, if there's no way to prohibit it, then my calling and asking, please don't, not.
Ask their drivers not to use them when they're in the city.
Well, that's, that, I guess, understood.
I can follow up with another letter to the companies now that we're rerouting traffic.
Cool.
And ask, make myself a note, and ask the same thing and see where that gets us.
Is the city able to determine what is the truck route through the town?
Currently,
Yeah, we've got designated truck route. I don't have eyes off the top of my head, but
My only thought would then be even, hey, I'll pull myself and understanding I'm on M32 and they come through fine, but why then they're going down State Street through Chisholm? And if they're coming in on 23 South, and why don't we route them through Ripley and take them away from the majority, and or at least have pushback against them for some way? Because there is no reason that they need to be coming down State Street, making that noise, come through Chisholm. If people are visiting, and we want to encourage any kind of tourism, it's just not a good sound to hear, and it's not enjoyable. You can hear it from a long ways. And so maybe at least routing them off of State and Chisholm could be an option.
PFAP with State Street, that's a US 23. There's not much the city can do about that, correct?
Not to the best of my knowledge. I wasn't here when the truck route, was put into place. But I don't believe we can prohibit them on US 23 being that's a state truck route.
The same thing on 32?
Correct. That's also a state truck.
That's actually where my mind was going to. I was trying to bring my way back to my legislative days. And have you contacted State Representative
I have not. This is actually,
oh, sorry.
no, I'm just saying, I saw Mr. Pfeiffer in court a couple weeks ago when the article came out, and I just said, that reminds me traffic's going to be coming. Is there anything we can do? And he said, well, the city council meeting's the next one's the 17th, come down to public comment. So
Sure.
Like I said, and then I talked to friends that are on State Street, and I know they hate it. And then I talked to some of the same friends actually have businesses on Chisholm, and they know that they said it's even worse on Chisholm, than it is on State Street. So it's just.
Maybe even, not only a constituent reaching out to state rep and then use the liaison through MDOT to see if a sign can be put up. Then maybe if entertained by council, a letter could be drafted and sent to Mr. Cavett or Representative Cavett as well. I'm just an idea.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a liaison for the representative, we used to get things like this all the time. And all I would do is ship I was a liaison, so I worked in between different departments, and they always seem to come through with something. So maybe that.
I'll try to reach out to Mr. Cavett's office and
no pun intended.
see if I get any movement there. But anyways, bring it to your attention. Sounds like it may have brought to your attention before, but
Mayor Johnson, I would suggest maybe referring it to staff and let us take another look at it. See if there's anything. Yeah,
even if it's like Jake brakes prohibited, but when even just a reminder to them as they come in that and again, I tried to do some research and have talked to some of my friends that run trucking businesses, but it's my understanding it's just typically do it because it just saves on your brakes. I don't know about the wear of the engine. Apparently the engine can take that type of, and it's kind of been described to me as you're just downshifting like you would in a car, except you're not slowing out on the clutch. You're just really letting it do the work. But maybe just as something of even Jake brakes unless when necessary. And I'm not sure if there's a defined situation. I tried to find that it said when they're on a correctly operated machine, they don't violate any, like at least the EPA's noise stuff. So, I mean, I don't surprise me, but anyways.
Chief, can the city put a sign up along state highways or not?
Not without MDOT approval. And I don't want to, I'm not specifically asked them on Jake braking. I have checked with the Michigan State Police. I explained to Judge Curtis when we were coming up the stairs, that we've looked into this before. And it's, according to MSP, it's illegal to have a Jake braking ordinance. So we cannot put a Jake braking ordinance in that. And I share the concern. Trust me, it's frustrating. I don't like the noise myself. But I feel we are handcuffed in what we can do for enforcement. I went directly with the motor carrier officers for MSP, and that's where I got the information. So, yeah, I don't have an answer for it. Mayor, that would have been my suggestion as well, as to send a letter to the trucking companies. It sounds like it's already been done.
And it was, just a few months ago it was done, but now that we're in busy season.
If I could.
Yeah.
We've still been trying to figure out that list. So the letter actually has not gone out.
Oh, the letter hasn't gone out.
Yeah.
I'll just shake his.
Just update it. There you go.
Okay. So that might be helpful, but we will refer it to staff and have a meeting.
20 years ago, we sent out a letter. It worked for about a year.
Okay.
We can remember. And then you end up with new employees, new drivers, different things like that. From what I know, it is considered a safety measure. And you have to call it the right thing as well, because they say, well, they're not Jake brakes. I'm not using my Jake brakes. I'm using my engine brake. Or I'm using compression brake. It's all, they have all these different things for it. You have to call it out right and all these things. But where we came to with the last discussion was that the mayor said, what if we just ask them nicely and put up the signs? It doesn't say no engine braking. It says, please refrain from engine braking within the city limits. Whatever, this type of thing. And so that's what we're kind of looking towards. And it kind of went to the back burner for a while. That's just kind of where we're at with it. So we can look and resurrect that letter. You can maybe add some things to it if you'd like, and we can get that out.
Okay. And then maybe if it works for a year, maybe yearly we send the letter as a reminder.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, well, I appreciate everybody's time. Thanks a lot. Take it. Have a good afternoon.
Anybody online? So consent agenda, A, bills to be allowed in the amount of $885,504.61, and authorize Mayor Johnson and Clerk Soik to sign the warrant. B, noise ordinance variance request for Joe's Bar on July 13th, 2024 from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. C, receive and file the 2023 Our Family Foundation annual accounting of events. D, amend the resolution number for the application and implementation of the Michigan Shared Streets and Space Grant from 2024-07 to 2024-08.
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. I will set it wrong.
You're a seconder?
I second.
Councilmember King, Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Noack,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson.
Aye. We're down to announcements. The terms for mayor and 2 council members will expire on December 31st, 2024. The deadline for city candidates who are nominated by petition to the November general election is July 23rd, 2024 at 4 p.m. Nonpartisan nominating petitions and affidavits of identity forms are available in the city clerk's office. We have no proclamations. We are down to report of officers. A is attorney fees for water and sewer litigation, and City Attorney Bill Piper.
Council has a short memo that I wrote. I don't really have anything to add. It's self-explanatory. You also, I believe, received the bill in the non-public packet. The reason I went in the non-public packet is there might be some confidential information in there. So you have that, but I'm willing to answer any questions that you have or any concerns that you want to bring to my attention.
Does anyone have questions? I have no
I have
questions.
no questions, no. That was very thorough in the reporting, so I appreciate that, Bill.
So I'll entertain a motion.
I'll motion to pay attorney's fees as requested by City Attorney Bill Piper. Do I have to state the amount?
Can we add the amount? I'm looking.
Since we know what it is.
Okay, my computer just decided to update itself, so.
That's nice.
Can you?
$39,985.
Okay. Oh, she says it's okay.
In the amount of $39,585.
$985.
$39,980.
Looking for big.
I don't know about that extra $400. Let's push it ahead.
I second that.
Thank you.
I was looking to table it, but okay. No, I'm good.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Noah,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And now we're down to B, fiscal year 2025 budget.
Do
First,
you have any council committee reports?
Yes.
oh, did I skip that?
Yes, ma'am.
I did. Oh, way up there.
Yeah, we can all say we have nothing to report.
Okay, so council committee reports, I'll start. I have nothing to report.
Oh, okay. Well, Wednesday is a special meeting of the Alpena County Land Bank Authority. And we're going to be approving the purchase agreements for the 3 Bedford Street properties. It's like this, and do the finalization and everything and get done. It has to be done with before the 22nd of June, I believe it was, such. So that's the reason for the special meeting. That's it.
What time is that meeting?
Oh, crap. 3 o'clock.
Oh, I might be able to attend that.
I double check that.
Aaron, do you have anything?
I do not.
Just one thing, Mr. Mayor. I sat on the Emergency Planning Commission and just wanted to comment that in that emergency planning, one of the biggest things that committee gets reports on is different emergency response plans from all the different plants that are around and located. And I just wanted to publicly thank all the cooperation of those plants, visually taking our people right through the plant to ensure that when they're called to a certain building on any of these plants, that they know where to respond. They're very familiar with the things. And so that's through the cooperation between our firefighting team and our city police and those businesses as well. So that's what we've been working on. We've gotten quite a bit of great compliance on all of those. And, it makes you feel very well when they're very cooperative and showing you everything around their plants. So that's all I have, ma'am.
3 p.m.
No communications, no. So we're down to new business. A is water and sewer rates recommendation for fiscal year 2025. Steve Schultz.
All right, so with the budget nearing completion, budgeted costs for water and sewer can now be utilized in developing the proposed water and sewer rates for the next fiscal year. Over the last several years, we have developed our rates using a 5-year average of usages, and depending on how usages increased, we would propose a rate based on the increased cost of operation and maintenance of the system and the debt retirement due to increasing volumes. After conversations last year while setting rates, as well as some staff discussion this year, we are proposing to base the rates more on capital needs of the system. Over the last 5 years, the combined water and sewer rates increased an average of around 2.5%. There were less projects during this time, and so the fund balance was not used, but that also did not build during this time because of the low rate increases. As several attempts to secure grant funding for Second Avenue failed, we finally elected to complete the project using entirely the sewer and water funds. In addition, we began the Fair Avenue project as well as completed some much needed repairs at the plants. This and future projects, most notably the clear wells at the water production plant, will most likely exhaust the water and sewer fund balances, While some projects can be moved to future years to help build the fund balance back up, staff would also like to use the water and sewer rates to begin to build our fund balances. Staff considered a few different options for the rate increase while also keeping in mind that the rates need to remain acceptable for the users. In the table there, I show increased percentages of 3, 5, and 7, and also one for 7% for water and 3% for sewer. So based on the fact that more funds are needed in the water fund due to the Clearwell project being completely funded from it, I elected to propose that fourth column, which shows the increase of 7 in the water and 3% in sewer. This averages to basically a 5% rate increase overall. With the usages proposed, we will generate approximately $2,091,000 in the water fund and $1.9 million in the sewer fund. Approximately 6% of this, which supports operations and maintenance of the system, but the remainder could be used for capital projects. Using the proposed 7% for water and 3% sewer increase would result in the following quarterly bill increases to users. And I have that table there for you. So you're looking at a quarterly bill for a 10,000 gallon user would be $13.90. And then they gradually go up to quite a large user at 25,000 gallon units. 1,000 gallon units would be $34.75. And that's for a quarter. So just looking at that, I didn't feel that those were too large of an increase overall. So if the above rates are proposed at the 3 and the 7, the table is shown there that would appear in the budget. And the recommended motion is on the bottom of the memo.
And I just want to make a correction because you said approximately 6% of which supports it, 60%.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 60. Yeah. Right.
6%. You know, the only thing that I'll say is that, you know, because I've never, you know, I've stepped in when we first had to start raising this, and we've all seen the cost of these projects, especially that has been accelerated probably over the last, I would say 3 to 4 years, just across the board. Everything is really going crazy. I think some of these projects, if you look at some of the numbers what they were originally proposed, have gone up at least 20% within that time frame, minimum, you know. So, I mean, looking at that, looking at the needs of the system and, you know, for instance, the Clearwater, that was here when I first started. And we've been trying to find funding for that since then. And now we can't kick that can down the road anymore. We have to get that go to ensure the safety and security of that system. So, Council, I'm good with either. I think we have to really seriously look at the 5% minimum, or I'm fine with the 7 and the 3 based on the needs of those two systems. So I'm good either way. But seriously, it's one of those times where, you know, I really feel that we need to address this, and we need to address it now. I mean, we need to get what we can into the system. So just my thoughts.
I don't disagree. Comments?
No, not on this.
Aaron, do you have any comments?
No.
Then I would move we adopt proposed water sewer rates as presented in the 7 and 3%, 7% water, 3% sewer, as presented, and incorporate the chart as shown into the budget.
Second.
If I heard correctly, it was 7.
7 to 3.
Is there any discussion?
Mayor Pro Tem Noack,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Carried.
Okay, now we're down to fiscal year budget 2025. And we have, first we have to adopt the fiscal year 2025 budget adoption resolution number 2024.
Nothing has really changed. It's still the same as when I presented at the public hearing. I think we did incorporate the request by Chief Edmonds, increase in rates. We they put that in there. So we'll just have to update it with the approved water and sewer rates, and then that'll be it. But it's not gonna change anything. I don't think we're gonna change anything in the revenue section because of that.
Okay.
Are we, Steve?
I think so, no.
Does anyone have any questions for Anna?
Nope.
Okay.
I move we adopt fiscal year 2025 budget resolution 2024-09.
I'll second.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember King,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem Noah.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And then we have to adopt the fiscal year 2025 appropriations resolution number 2024-05.
So moved.
Second.
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Noah,
Aye.
and Mayor Johnson.
Aye. And then the third, we have to adopt the amended fiscal year 2024 budget.
I move that we adopt the amended fiscal year 2024 budget.
I'll second.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Noah,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye,
Councilmember King.
Aye.
Motion
thank you.
carried. Nice to meet you.
And thank you again
Paid.
for all your work on that, Anna, and everyone on the staff. Sure.
So now we have 2024 fixed dock installation proposal, Kevin Fisher, our harbor master, park coordinator.
Hello.
Kevin?
So on June 11th, 2024, the city received and opened proposals for the installation of 12 floating docks within the Alpena Marina. The city took delivery of the new docks last fall, and the docks are currently on site and ready to be installed at the marina. The 2024 fixed dock installation project includes the removal of the old docks and installation of new docks in their place, utilizing the existing mounting structures on the seawall. Invitations to bid were sent to 16 firms, with one bid received as follows. MacArthur Construction from Hillman, Michigan, as read for $74,000, as tabulated for $74,000. We, the city, are making these improvements as part of a Michigan Waterways grant agreement with the state of Michigan. And in accordance with the Waterways grant agreement, the DNR will pay $49,000 or $36,260, and the city has sufficient funding to cover the remainder of the cost. The recommended motion is to award the contract for the 2024 fixed dock installation to MacArthur Construction for the total cost of $74,000.
And I just want to make one correction. The DNR will pay 49%.
Yep, sorry.
It's okay. Just want everyone to know. Does anyone have any questions for Kevin?
Kevin, everyone knows I just absolutely hate single bids.
Yep.
So my
Fire.
question, it precedes me. So my question usually is this, was there any thoughts from any of the other firms of why we weren't receiving additional bids?
I brought notes.
All right.
At the same exact effect, we actually reached out the following day to all of the other companies that we sent the bids to. And among all of the reasons that we got back, the most prevalent one was prior commitments, and other construction companies just didn't have the time. But among that, the rest of them were, some of these construction companies don't actually specialize in that sort of work. They were lacking the heavy machinery to do the work. They couldn't make the deadline that we had put in the bid, even though whoever contacted us, we let them know that we were flexible with the deadline. And a lot of the people around here, it just kind of boils down to prior commitments.
Yeah.
And I'm familiar with the construction company. So I'm assuming either yourself or Steve may answer. Have we done these types of projects with this company in the past?
They have done, not marina projects, but similar projects. They do similar things like this. They have cranes and everything to do this, and they do a lot of other work that's not necessarily road related. I guess I'll say. Things like bolting anywhere to the front of the seawall and such.
Okay. All right.
When they start this project, how long will it take?
Am I allowed to talk about their deadline?
Yes.
They are hoping to have it done before brown trout.
Great.
That's very quick indeed.
And we already have a system in place. So there's 4 transient docks at the very end, 55, 56, 57, and 58. Given the current state of those U-shaped docks, they've been shut down for safety reasons for the entire year already. And so those will be the first 2 slips that they actually replace so that we can then cycle 4 boats at a time down into the transient slips while 2 slips are being replaced, and just hopefully it goes smoothly, but we do have a plan.
Okay. Fantastic.
I have no other questions.
Is that inclusive of the water lines? It's like this that are supposed to be replaced out there?
I don't know. I don't think the water lines were included in this one.
It's afterwards?
Oh, okay. Part of the original whole project. We found that we could do it on our own. So.
Okay. That works.
Learn something new every day.
Especially me.
Yeah.
Questions for Kevin? This project? Okay.
I'll make a motion to award the contract for the 2024 fixed dock installation to MacArthur Construction. The total cost of $74,000.
Second.
Any discussion?
Noah,
Aye.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane,
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Aye.
Thank you all very much.
Mrs. Mayor, I move that we adjourn to closed session to discuss the water and sewer litigation update.
Second.
Mayor Johnson,
Aye.
Councilmember Kane.
Aye.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Aye.
and Mayor Pro Tem. Motion carried.
This conference will now be recorded.
Now we're back.
No. We are back in open session. We have no action, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Second.